Lulu is actually a word in the dictionary that means something outstanding and remarkable. And every day we produce small batch from scratch ice cream and gelato using all local ingredients. We really capitalize on the flavors of Vermont from local farmers.
We've never milked more than 6 goats. That only gives us a small number of gallons per day. That's all that a place like Lulu needs. They couldn't take all of the milk that we have. They'd have to be much, much bigger, but it gives them a supplier.
No one in the state of Vermont is purchasing raw milk and then manipulating it into something else. And because of that, we work with Yves directly to make sure that he does an antibiotic test, and then we pasteurize everything in-house.
We've found that we're making actually more money on selling the fluid milk than we did processing the cheese, because it takes a lot more labor to process the cheese. It takes a lot of refrigeration. It takes a lot of time. We're able to get more product out at a reasonable price point for Lulu's, much better than they could get in a store, for instance, and make more money than we are making cheese, which is a bit mind-blowing.
The Dairy Innovation Fund encouraged me to really dive into it. It's a full line. We have pints, we're advocating it for grocery stores. It's allowing us to really make it bigger than we could have ever done.
It allows people to experiment, because there's not a lot of margin in farming or in food service, so you don't typically take a lot of risks. And the risk was more so, I think, on the Lulu side, because they had more equipment and new things to learn than we did.
And he's been a real advocate for us as well while we were learning our stumbling blocks of how do you use goat milk and how does it differ from cow milk, and how can you produce a really great product with something that's dynamically different.
And they could experiment with, I don't know, textures and flavors, and especially flavors. And I don't think that would have been possible if people had been asked to do that out of their pockets.
The great part about this grant and our ability to buy more is that unfortunately a lot of farmers are shutting down and not working anymore, and they're shifting their career focus just because there isn't the network for purchasing. So we're hoping to find more small farm partners that we can maybe turn the tide for them, because we're just buying straight from their production as opposed to them having to even create it into anything else. So it allows them to really focus on the things they're excited about.
The animals have got, way more space and outside pasture time. When we say they're grass-fed, whenever they can get to the grass is when they do, and they get to browse what they have. So it's a completely different lifestyle, not just for us, but also for the animals, which I think makes a better product.
Taste is 100% of what we do, and when we have really great farmers producing great things, it's easy for us to make a phenomenal product. They're doing all the hard work. I'm just changing it into a delicious frozen product. But it's one that if we succeed, they succeed, and that's really, for us, what motivates us working with local farm partners.
I mean, I know a lot of little goat farmers, maybe 3 times my size. So, they're huge. But they still have more milk than they have got outlets for. And if something like goat milk ice cream or gelato was sort of more prevalent throughout the state, it would work well on a very localized basis.
So we're really confident that we can go find another farmer and say, we know how to do this, we know what you need to do, we know what we need to do, let's build another partnership.